All right, in this market structure, we'll draw monopolistic competition, and I'll show you how to do short-run profit and short-run losses, but the most important is the long run for monopolistic competition. But I'll go ahead and show you this. It's not too bad, and it's kind of similar to what a monopoly would look like, especially if they're going to earn a profit. So here's my price and my quantity. The demand curve is downward sloping, but it's a little bit more flat because it tends to be more elastic for monopolistic competition. And that's just because there's quite a few different competitors that are making this product. So it's not perfectly elastic. It's not like perfect competition, but it's also not inelastic like Monopoly where they're the only ones producing it. So your demand curve is pretty flat, and then you can draw in your marginal revenue curve underneath that. And then you can draw in your marginal cost curve. And the output, again, is where MR equals MC. So we can find that point. There's my quantity. And for my price, the demand is equal to my price still. So go up to the demand curve and over for the price. And if I'm making a profit, then my average cost curve has to be below the price. So anywhere below the price, intersecting the marginal cost curve at the minimum point would work for my average cost curve. And so that's monopolistic competition with a short-run profit. Looks very similar to a monopoly. The only real difference is that the demand curve is a little bit flatter. Competition and then with a short-run loss. So the SR just means short run. And so to draw that, if I were asked to do that, I would draw my price and quantity. My demand curve, again, tends to be a little bit flatter than what it would be in a monopoly. And then you have your marginal revenue curve and your marginal cost curve. I would locate my output, which is where MR equals MC. I would locate my price, which is up at the demand curve. And if I'm making a loss, that means my average cost must be above the price. So this time the average cost curve is going to still intersect the marginal cost, the minimum point, and go over. But now I can show that there's this area of loss here. And that is monopolistic competition with a short run loss. probably the most important is drawing monopolistic competition in the long run. And so I just need to draw the one graph again. So I have my price, I have my quantity, I have a somewhat flat demand curve, I have a downward sloping marginal revenue curve, I have a marginal cost curve, I find the output, so MR equals MC, draw a line down, find the price, and I go up here. And then in the long run, what sort of profit does monopolistic competition, what sort of profit do they make? Well, if you said zero or normal economic profit, you are right. And so the average cost curve, it can't be below the price, because then that would mean that there's a profit. And it can't be above the price, otherwise we know that would be a loss. And so what I like to do is draw a little dot where price equals demand. I draw a little dot here. And then that reminds me, oh yeah, the average cost curve is going to be tangent to that line because I'm not making a profit or a loss. And it still has to intersect the marginal cost curve at the lowest point. So my average cost curve is downward sloping here, hits the marginal cost curve, goes up. And that is monopolistic competition in the long run. And just a reminder that if it was perfectly competitive, or where the most efficient quantity would be, it would be where supply and demand are equal. And so here's my QE, that's where it would be most efficient. So the only market structure that's allocative and productively efficient is perfect competition. Monopolistic competition, while they earn zero or normal economic profit because of the ease of entry and exit, they still are not producing where the demand and marginal cost intersect, where it would be allocatively and productively efficient.